Hello, everybody, and good morning. Welcome back to my live. Today, I want to talk about something that I think is very timely, and it's all about creating that coziness, not only within our homes, but also within our hearts. And I think this is a very tricky time for busy moms because there's just a lot going on. We are still kind of reeling from back to school. Now we're in the thick of things with extracurricular activities and sports. I know I'm spending at least 4 times a week out on the soccer field between my two kids. Gosh, if I had any more, I don't know, I'd probably just live there. But it's a very busy time, and then throw on top of that all the different holidays that are coming up. And I don't know about you guys, but I love kind of bringing some of those holidays into my home through various decorations. I like to change up some of my accent pillows, and I'm not really an extra person like that, but I do enjoy a well decorated home and something that just feels cozy. By no means is my home meant to be a museum. But so today, I wanted to talk about 5 different tips to help you create that coziness, not only in your home, but also in your heart. And I wanted to kind of dive in a little deep into a few of these. So the 5 tips that I have for you are this, or I'm sorry, the 4 tips that I have for you are this. One is to incorporate simple, budget-friendly fall decor. There is no reason to break the bank on these types of things. Second is to declutter and simplify. I find when my space is decluttered, my mind feels decluttered, and I feel then my mind can really thrive and I can work on those big heavy projects, but I can't seem to do it when my space is a little cluttered. And right now it is a little cluttered, so I'm hoping I can spend some time this week and get it back under control. Third one is to create cozy family moments. I love nothing more than a really good family movie night where we order in a pizza, we kind of turn the lights down, watch a movie, cuddle up underneath some blankets. In the winter time, that's like the best time to turn the fireplace on, and I love nothing more than that. It brings me so much joy, and I know it's something that my kids really enjoy as well. And then lastly, to let go of perfection. And this is one that I wanted to dig into just a little bit because I think, in this world full of social media and, basically seeing the highlight reel of other people's lives, you tend to think, oh, everything needs to be perfect because that's just how other people are living. How come I can't get my act together and have a perfect home or have create perfect meals or have a perfect wardrobe? And I like to think of this as you can't compare your day to day to somebody else's highlight reel. It's funny, I had a conversation with my daughter yesterday. And, every now and again, I like to share different stories from my childhood. And, of course, that's like I consider my social media reel. It's like the highlight reel, right? Like I'll tell her, oh, we used to do these things. And so, for example, last week I posted about going to Navratri, which is a 9-day festival where we celebrate strength and unity. And when I was growing up, I would go with my cousin and his then girlfriend, now wife, and we would go and we would, have a great time. We would be there until about like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then we would be so hungry. So we would all go to Denny's afterwards for breakfast, for a very, very early morning breakfast. And I would tell my daughter about this, and she's like, man, your childhood was so fun. Like, I feel like ours isn't that fun. And I had to stop her, and I was like, hold up. I was like, that's because this was like 3% of my childhood, right? Such a small, small part of what our day to day look like. I'm like, it's not as much fun talking about, the fact that our summers went by and parents were working and my brother and I were home, just watching TV all day. It's not very remarkable, and so there's not a whole lot to say about it. But these highlights, like family weddings and the hijinks we got into, all that. I tell her stories about that, and not realizing that she's thinking that was my whole life. Like every summer there was another wedding. And so it goes to say, don't compare your day to day to somebody else's highlight reel, because honestly, if we were all just to compare our day to days to each other, we'd find we have a lot more in common than otherwise. And I always tend to think life is fully balanced. If I have one area of my life so completely put together, then that really, all it really means is that there's another part of my life that you're not seeing that is just straight up chaos. Um, and I am a strong, strong believer in that. So whenever I do see someone who's so well put together, I just, obviously I'm not going to ask them about it, but I do think in my mind, you know what? I'll give myself grace because there's other areas of my life that I'm a lot more put together than this one. And I balance it out by not being so well put together in other parts. So it's all a true balance. And at the end of the day, we have to give ourselves grace because we can't do everything perfectly. So I hope you will go ahead and give yourself that grace as well. I did want to leave you with a few positive affirmations that I know I'll be incorporating into the mix this week as well. So the first one is, my home reflects love, warmth, and simplicity. I create a space that nurtures my family without striving for perfection. I embrace the cozy moments of fall with my loved ones. And lastly, I deserve a calm and peaceful space to recharge. And I hope for all of these things for all of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you guys have a great day.